say. Webby, GA, and Matt are here today. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Come and have your say.
Okay, so normally at the beginning of our show, as you all know, I say a little piece. I've usually got it written down. Today, I'm going to... it's going to be interesting because I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to say at the moment, so it'll be a surprise to me as much as it is to you. I want to talk about social media a little bit and responsibility. We all hear day in, day out about how bad social media is, and that, you know, there's bullies and this and that and people saying things that they wouldn't normally say, and we've all experienced that. But here's the thing, it's not Facebook that's doing that, it's us. We're doing that, and it's time for us to start taking responsibility for that. It's time for us to, and the big responsibility that we can take is that when somebody says something stupid, don't get into an argument, don't give them oxygen, just ignore it and it'll go away. And it's true, isn't it, that if Adolf Hitler was alive now, that's the way he would get to you. That's what he would use. He'd be using Facebook, he would be using Twitter. Let's not give these people oxygen. Case in point, we've got a rider that's done sterling duty for Great Britain and for various clubs over the years. And he's had a bad meeting. Okay, it was an important meeting, it was the Speedway of Nations. But he's not had a bad meeting because he's gone out there to try and have a bad meeting. One thing that we know about Chris Harris is that he always tries, but some of the abuse that he has been receiving on Facebook is, I can't think of a word bad enough to describe it that I can use on the radio. Only in Speedway. Good evening and welcome to the Speedway Tavern. We have in the studio our friend Mr. Matt Buck.
Good evening.
Do you know I have to be very careful how I say that?
I know, yeah. Most people love to say that.
And we also have Chris Webby Brown.
Chris Webby, top of the league, Brown.
By one point, we're closing in on you.
Well, we're not.
Yeah, more of that later. We want to give a big thank you to the guy who supplied us these rather wonderful mugs.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You've got
That's
all the details
Yep.
there. Chris, would you like to give him a shout out?
Okay, so many big thanks to PVL Racing, Paul Lavender, Motocross Spares and Accessories.
There you go. Well, a few things to talk about
yes.
this week. We might have an interesting guest for next week as well, but let's not say too much about that just yet. Fingers crossed.
Okay.
But that's next week. Excuse me. National Fans Meeting on the 12th of August, coincidentally the day before my birthday. Just thought I'd get that one in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The NSS.
62 again, is it?
Not far off.
It looks a lot older.
Yeah, I'm 25, but I've had a hard life.
Really hard.
The old ones are the best, aren't they? So that information's from Alan Atherton about the National Fans Meeting, so I don't know anything else about it. No. I don't know what, how, where, why. Well, I've got the where. I don't know the why. So, Alan, if you're out there listening, if you could pop something on the shout box, give us a bit more detail to that, we would that would be appreciated, and we'll put it out there for you. Right, it's a few things to talk about this week, I think.
There always is a few things.
Yeah.
Speedway of Nations.
Go on, delve straight in.
Yes, why not?
Wolverhampton had a
A
nice
big win.
time.
We did, yes.
Gloss over that one.
Yeah.
Birmingham have been struggling. And what have your teams been doing out there? Let us know. And you can let us know via these different ways.
Okay, so if you're on Facebook, you just search for UK Speedway Tavern, if you're not already on it, and you'll find us on all good Facebook pages and groups, or just go to www, short one this week, srbradio.com, and click on chat, and you can join in the chat there and listen to us as well if you really want to.
I think we should get one of these mugs with just www written
We should do, yeah.
around the top. Maybe that's... I don't know. Did you run out of paper this week? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could start off with the Speedway of Nations, but I think I'd like to start off a little bit about my little rant, actually, and about Facebook and about how negative everybody is. Now, I know there's to be fair, there's quite a lot to be negative about, but it ain't helping.
No, it definitely isn't. It was always going to be very, very difficult without Ty Woffington.
It would have been difficult with Ty Woffington.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Speedway of Nations. It's not supposed to be easy.
That's supposed to be the one man.
Yeah,
so.
that's supposed to be the point.
But no, as I say, it was always going to be difficult. But the task obviously wasn't made any easy with the fact that the two British riders crashed into each other in the first heat.
I actually missed the crash.
Yeah.
It didn't sound very good from what I
Yeah,
heard.
it was a nasty one. Yeah, it just felt like Craig picked up too much speed going into the corner, and unfortunately, Robert Lambert was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And of course, it turns out that Craig Cook, although he carried on riding, had broken his wrist.
Yeah,
So you can't fault commitment, can you?
that's all right. Yeah,
I think it's just one of them that you just. So, oh well, that wasn't meant to be.
I think you could probably say that one or two people maybe got slightly carried away with that second place that we got last season, because let's be fair, if it hadn't been for Ty Woffington, we wouldn't have got anywhere near the second
well,
place.
I'm not sure that's true, because Robert Lambert.
Well, he scored about 80% of the points, to be fair.
But Robert Lambert came really good.
Robert
right
Lambert
at the
did
end,
ride very
yeah.
well. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not saying that for 1 minute, but and so you
And
could
also in the semi-final this year, we had three riders that came good, that actually did better than Ty Woffington to get us through. So
that's right. Yeah.
okay, I've got see if I can see that with my glasses. This is from Tomo. This is on the shout box. Please read this out and early. Recently, Mark Robinson on his ridiculous fan. No, I have to say, this is me reading something else. This is not me saying this.
No,
okay. Yeah. Recently, Mark Robinson on his ridiculous fan power Facebook page has been emailing Birmingham City Council regarding our curfew, which most Bromley fans know for a fact exists.
Yeah.
Now has this been registered as a complaint? Can he send us a copy of the email he sent? He was only too quick to post us all the response. As you probably know, his response
And it continues
from Birmingham Council is what we already know. Yes, there is a curfew. Can you request he keeps his nose out of our affairs? Why? What? I mean, if that's true, why?
I don't understand.
I don't understand why you would be doing that.
It is a fact.
Yes, it is a fact.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that's a fact. We have a 10
It's the
o'clock
only
curfew.
reason that
We've never ever gone over it. Not once have we gone over that curfew, which is something that we can be proud of. So, Mark Robinson, if that is true, I think if that is true, then keep your nose out. That's all I've got to say on that one. Stupid. What are you? Okay. Moving on.
Okay. Quite a few.
It's a few. Yeah, we're just looking through the shout box now. So, do we think there will be a new Team GB manager next season?
Yes, I wanted to talk about this, to be honest, because I think Ty Woffington was obviously in the BC studio, and what really came across was I think most people know that the relationship between Ty Woofington and
Alan Rossiter
is strained, shall we say. But it certainly came across as this town ain't big enough for both of us. Really. I mean, to be fair, you couldn't really criticise couldn't really disagree with quite a few of the things that Ty said, to be honest. I mean, he was very critical of the decision to bring Chris Harris back.
Right.
Admittedly, that we were struggling for numbers, and if all the rides had been fit, then Chris Harris wouldn't have been there. I mean, Chris Harris, listen, like you said, I mean, guts, passion for his country and enthusiasm. He's got it all in bucket loads, but
you can't blame him for being picked.
Yeah, let's be honest about it. He's an international class anymore. I know he's done well in the World Championship qualifiers, but if he gets back in the Grand Prix, is he going to really? I can't see it. I mean, he might surprise me, but
well, if he gets back in the Grand Prix, you might think that he would be investing in perhaps better machinery and etc. So that's which possibly he hasn't got this year.
Oh, I mean, if he qualifies by his own merit, then fair play to him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Not.
But that's sort of a side issue to what you're talking about.
Yeah, I get the impression that when we have the Speedway Nations next year, if it is a Speedway Nations, or when I say decide to bring the World Cup back, but I suspect it's going to be the Speedway Nations again.
It's been a success, hasn't it?
Yeah, one of either Ty Woofington or Alan Rossiter will not be there. I think if Alan Rossiter is still the GB team manager, I get the impression. I'm not saying this because I know anything. This is just me.
This is
my gut instinct. My gut instinct is that Woofy's not.
It begs the question, doesn't it? Who would take over?
Well, this is it.
And it also begs the other question: is that the tail wagging the dog?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, my only criticism of Ty Woofington is I still maintain that he should ride in the British Championship. I think he's wrong. I think he's wrong to not ride in the British Championship. I don't criticise him for not riding in the league, but that is the one thing I think he should ride, because that is the main flagship of British Speedway is its national championship, and for our best rider not to ride in it is disappointing.
It is. It's another. It speaks volumes for where we are in this country at the moment, doesn't it?
Listen, we had a fantastic performance in last year's competition. To get second place in the. And of course we have got the new people who are looking after the national team, and that was a great result. But these guys are still learning, to be fair.
How old is Robert Lambert now?
Robert Lambert is 19, I think.
Okay,
maybe 20.
So they've still got a couple of years when he can.
Dan Bewley, of course. I think if Dan Bewley hadn't had that smack at the end of last season, I think he would have been
without a doubt. He was on the pace, wasn't he?
I would say I was disappointed that there was not more British riders out there, because we were then forced into a position on the second day where we were having to ride with two riders that weren't anywhere near fit.
That doesn't sound. I mean, the one thing that we've been trying to do is this professionalism thing, and that felt a little bit. But then again, you get how many other teams would have had an extra rider out there? I guess it's money.
I know. People might say, "Well, Dan Bewley's not ready for that level yet, and he'd have been out of his depth." But
he would have been. He would have been ready on this form from last year. I think.
Yeah, he's not going to get the experience if he doesn't get a chance.
Yeah, I mean that's a very damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If Alan Rossiter had picked Dan Bewley and Dan Bewley had performed at a similar level to Chris Harris, you just know that the knives would have been out. Mm-hmm. Possibly not against Dan Bewley in that case, probably against Alan Rossiter, but who knows? The knives would have been out because people are not taking responsibility for what they say anymore.
Yeah, I would say though. I mean, I totally agree with you with the some of the criticism that Bomber has had has been absolutely disgraceful.
Absolutely,
he hasn't gone out there and not tried.
Well, he never does. That's one thing you can always say about Bomber Harris.
Unfortunately, he just at that level just wasn't up to it. Unfortunately, and it's sad because this is a guy who this is a guy, don't forget, who's won a British Grand Prix.
Exactly.
He's the something that even Ty Woofington hasn't managed to do yet.
Yes. I wonder how many times he goes up and goes, no. But anyway. Hello.
Can I just state the obvious?
Probably.
It's bloody hot in here.
It is very, very hot. And I'm sorry if my face is a bit shiny. I'm just recovering from food poisoning, so
It's improvements.
yeah,
Lawrence,
thank you.
Lawrence Rogers says, well said, Michael, about the horrible comments about Bomber. And Paul Wood also says, I like Bomber haters will hate, well, stuff them. Derek says, well,
I think I understood that.
No, I don't understand it. Well said, Michael, spot on. The abuse Bomber has had is disgusting. And it goes on. The fact Harris didn't beat a Wolves rider last night is more disappointing, to be honest.
Can I just say that I don't know what time Bomber got back from Russia, but I bet he must have been absolutely shattered last night, having to fly all the way back from Russia and then ride at Bomber on the night.
Yes.
I've got to say as well,
Let's hope he keeps that same bike for
I sincerely
tomorrow.
hope that they don't have a Speedway Nations at Togliatti again, because the racing was awful.
Right.
It was
I was
really
going to
poor.
come on to that, but yeah.
And Paul also said it was an awful track in Russia.
Yeah, awful
People
narrow
said
track.
that, haven't they?
Yeah, we should say congratulations to Russia, though. I mean, that's
Yes,
back-to-back wins.
absolutely. I mean, it was fairly nip and
Yeah.
tuck at one point. And
Yeah.
Poland must be thinking, can we have this World Cup back, please?
Australia impressed me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they got some good young riders coming.
Were they, was it well attended?
It was well attended, wasn't it?
It was well attended. I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably not the easiest place to get to, but
Well, being in Russia, I suppose, with them being champions, it probably would have been. But so, okay, we're getting onto some Brummy stuff here. So let's have a look at it. Stephen Skinner says, "I'm disappointed how Daniel Hume has been treated." Yeah, I mean, we will come on to that. Lawrence is on. And I know Lawrence has said that it was the old Speedway numbers game, but
and the numbers didn't quite match up with Daniel.
and it makes me wonder whether we need to get rid of the numbers. We spoke about that before, haven't we? Barry Bishop, clubs are invited to send one fan to represent their club at this meeting when they can meet the BSPA management, I believe. I presume that's to do with the National Fans meeting on the 12th of August.
Yeah.
Does Lawrence know anything about that? Denick Turner says, I think it's to do with numbers rather than anything against Daniel. I thought Daniel was just starting to find his feet, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it was a nasty one last week, though, with the crash
wasn't
with,
it?
we should say get well soon, Adam Ellis, as well. Cause,
Oh gosh,
really,
yes, that was a nasty.
yeah, because I mean he's been in great form since he came back.
Yeah, it's been great.
To Birmingham, so.
Harris shouldn't have been picked. Well, I mean that's a judgment call.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I wouldn't have liked to have been in the situation that Alan Rossiter found himself.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have gone with Chris Harris if it had been me, but it must have been a close thing. And you can't blame Chris for it, for being picked. You know.
Well, he's hardly going to say no, is he? Because
No,
I mean, he's
not.
he's passionate about riding for his country.
Jack Wright cannot think of a rider who does deserve bad treatment, but I can possibly think of. No, I might say that. But if there is one, it certainly isn't Chris Harris.
I think there's banter and there's
Yeah.
what is
Well,
bullying.
it just got very, very personal.
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very.
I mean, some people have
You'll
obviously
understand.
put some of these messages on Twitter, and then they've stopped and thought, yeah, that's all right to send on, and just sent it.
Well,
You
exactly.
know, surely there's something in the back of your mind that would think,
It's
Why am I
personal.
sending
People
this?
do not take personal responsibility because they don't see, because they're removed from it. That
Yeah.
if you shouted that out at a Speedway match, you'd be given short shrift by those around you.
yeah.
But anyway.
I'd probably kick him.
Awful meetings bring back the World Team Cup, says Simon Corbett. Well, let's have a discussion about that.
I prefer the World Cup, to be honest.
And what's the difference regarding
The difference
formats?
it's a 4-team tournament
Right.
versus a best pairs. I prefer the World Team Cup because, the Speedway of Nations, purely and simply because
There's
it's
a
more
team
of a
matter.
it's a more of a team event
Yeah.
than the World Team Cup
Hmm.
because you've got two riders racing against two other riders, and if you bring the World Team Cup back, then I think you've got to address that it not being four riders from the four teams in each
Why
race.
not alternate? World
Well,
Cup
you know,
one year,
if they did that, then
Nations
I think
next year.
I think that
Well,
because
that's
how is it a team cup if you haven't got two riders trying to team ride,
Yeah.
which is the essence of team speedway. It's one of the great skills of team speedway. So I think if you go back to the World Team Cup, then that needs to be addressed. But I also think this. I think the World Team Cup is a great event, that is watered down because it's played too often.
Yeah,
How often does the Football World Cup run?
4 years.
How often does the Rugby World Cup run?
4
Cricket
years.
World Cup?
4 years.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
there's a reason for this. It builds it up. It makes it a bigger event. So I think if you have 3 Speedway of Nations followed by a World Team Cup, do it that way.
Did they get rid of the World Team Cup to sort of negate the dominance of Poland?
Well, it's worked if they did.
They haven't won the Speedway Nations yet, have they? So
No. Mark Worthington, a global stage to show GB talent turned into a poor show and poor selection. It wasn't a global stage to show GB talent. That's quite what's the word I'm looking for? There was it was to show Speedway talent of it's called the Speedway of Nations for a reason. So I don't think you're quite right there.
We didn't say, did we, Evening Taverners?
no, we didn't.
Oh no, we didn't.
I thought that was the
Terrible.
new
I'm
in thing.
gonna
then.
blame
That's supposed to be the new thing, isn't it? Oh, Evening Taverners. Bit on the drag tonight. I don't
Well,
understand what that
Probably
means.
too much information there.
Yeah,
Okay,
right,
yes.
Fair enough. Let's
I
not
think
go
he's
there.
on the wrong forum.
I think that's the one that you was on earlier. wasn't it?
It's pretty
okay.
good actually. Yeah.
How many races has it been since Harris last beat an opponent? I don't know, but you can guess it. You can bet your life he's going to put it right tomorrow.
Well, I would hope he would have had a good night's sleep as well, because
Yeah.
as I say, I mean, that was a long old trip to come back from Russia to Britain and then ride in the night. So
Simon Corbett, only Woofy can ride abroad. I don't think that's true.
anybody can ride abroad.
No, but I understand what he's
Yeah.
what he's saying. I think Robert. It's gone out.
Robert Lambert.
Thank you. I think he's proven himself abroad.
We've said this before on the show. We know that these young riders are there. It's going to take time, and I think that's what people just need to be wary of.
Pauline Rawlins said it was a good crowd at the Bellevue Colts meeting with the Isle of Wight last night. That's good to hear, and that's some of the positive stuff that needs to be put out
Yeah.
all the time. Talking of positive stuff, while I'm thinking about it, this is quite a positive thing that's happened on the Brummies forum. Do you know what I'm talking about, Chris? You don't? Okay. Because you're part of it.
Sorry. Yeah.
So we've got this thing, which I believe you've mentioned on the TTS as well.
Right. Yeah.
That sorry, Tilton Talk Show for those that don't understand.
Yeah, of course.
Where the Birmingham Brummies are offering a £10 entrance to season ticket holders from local football clubs, Aston Villa, Birmingham City,
West Brom,
which is a great idea. But it was mentioned somebody on the forum that they've put it out, but really you need to be getting it onto all the different forums. For the different football clubs, so that you're actually targeting the actual audience. In my life, did our supporters not say, "Okay, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do that"? You put it on the Tilton Talk Show and a few different forums as well.
It's gone on quite a few.
And it's had a few likes and so on, hasn't it? So hopefully that will. So that's great, and that's the sort of stuff that as fans that we should be doing.
Yeah.
Instead of moaning. I says one of the biggest moaners of all, because I do have a moan, but what I tend to do is not moan on social media, because I follow my old dad's adage: if you've got nothing good to say, well, don't say it.
Yeah.
It's all about planting seeds.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I still have comments now. Is Speedway still going? Yeah. It's still going.
Do you know what surprised me is that you get that up in Manchester as well. People don't know it's there.
Okay, can you just go back to where you was just a second ago?
Oh, it's up on Dublin now. Hang on. Can you tell me where?
I don't know. I can't see it. I think it was a follow up to the friend Mr. Robinson's shenanigans, shall we call it? Apparently, I'll have to paraphrase from what I can remember from what I saw. But apparently, he's been doing it at different speedway tracks as well.
Yeah, I saw something flashing about that. So.
Yeah, which
I think that's it. Is that it there? Derek Turner's?
yeah, I think, that's it. Yeah.
I'm having trouble with me.
It's got. Okay, he's been doing it at Stoke and got the exact reply I told him a month ago. He's doing it to all the tracks. Why? What is the point?
Yeah.
I don't understand what. Let's just not give it any more air. Okay, so yeah, we got. Sorry, we're chasing all the different comments here. There's so many of them.
We could be on for a record comment night tonight. So, I mean, we're not even halfway through, and we're well
just
over
pick up
it.
on Alan's comment there. Peter Adams for GP manager. I think Peter Adams has been asked several times, and he's said that he's not interested.
This is the problem, isn't it? That a lot of people are not interested. Possibly it might have changed now that the setup has changed, where so some of the pressure, some of the work is taken.
I'd like to see Chris Louis involved in it, to be honest, because Chris Louis always impressed me. You know, he was a very good rider, and I think he's done a very good job at Ipswich, and he's seeing the promotion duties there.
I'd like to see Lawrence Rogers do it, just because I know some people would go apoplectic if they do it, and that'd be quite funny.
Is that a meeting up north somewhere, apoplectic?
Do you think the BSPA or the big bosses should put some sort of funding into the tracks nowadays, as some of the tracks are a disgrace?
Name and shame. Which tracks are a disgrace?
I think they're all suffering.
Yeah.
I think we know that they're all suffering, and I think we know why they're all suffering. And what needs to be done is to source some shale, or if they can't, some decent shale, or find something else that's going to work just as well. I mean, we've mentioned Birmingham track has been getting better and better and better. Got to be honest, I don't like saying this, but it was pretty poor last Wednesday. It was poor,
yeah. Not too long ago. I mean, you had those two matches against Sheffield and Newcastle where the track was superb, but even the Glasgow meeting, there was some very good racing in it, although it was dusty, but really disappointing against Redcar.
Now, let's put a sort of caveat out with that. Sorry, I've got to pour my water because I'm suffering. So let's have a caveat added to that.
Got a towel as well?
Yeah, probably do. The weather's been very, 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 very hot.
Yeah, we've had a bit of rain, haven't we, just a few minutes ago?
Yeah, so. And that hasn't helped. Yeah. And I know that they put tons and tons and tons and tons of water on that track. But by the end of the night, and they carried on watering it through the night, but it was just evaporating away. It's not a lot you can do about that, shale or no shale. But I don't think this new shale is absorbing the water as you would want it to.
Yeah.
And I just hope that they've got. I guess as they work with it more, they'll work it out. And that's what we've got to hope for. But
I mean, I've got to say, I've been quite critical of the Wolves track as well this season. It was better last night. It was better.
Okay.
Interesting. Dot Bridget was back at Monmouth last night, but I don't. As I say,
possibly.
I don't think he's. I don't think he's doing any work. Well, he's not doing any work on the Wolves track. I know he's retired now. So, but it was nice to see him back. It's a long old drive from Edinburgh as well. So.
Wendy Jane Barnett has just joined. She wasn't here at the register.
Oh dear. Wendy, what are you playing at?
It's out in the hall, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Not on, is it?
Russian track reminded me of Hull's old boulevard track, like a motorway with one lane with an occasional two lanes.
Did you ever go there?
I think I have, but it's very, very long time. I can't remember that. I can't remember yesterday.
The track at Craven Park wasn't much better, I don't think, but...
Barry Bishop, what did you think of the nice Java 2V challenge we staged on the island? Well, we spoke about that, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
So, what did you think of it, having done it? What was the response? I mean, that would be interesting to know. Something I have to mention. We was talking about the track, and if you look at the video of I think it was Heat 3. That's on the website at the moment from last week's match. You wouldn't think there was anything wrong with the track from that early in it. So it wasn't that they didn't get the water down, and they certainly did. So tell you what, my car was red when I got back to it.
Oh, there's a comment on that later.
Mind you, it is red anyway. But so that was an advantage. Do you think it was right for the Premiership's teams to have their riders taken away to get over to the Speedway of Nations? Speedway in the UK is a joke, gets looked over all the time, but wouldn't dare happen in Poland. Well, first thing to say about that is, people, stop telling me that Speedway in the UK is a joke. It is where it is, and keep saying these comments ain't helping. We've got to start forgetting about what it is and start looking at where it's going to go. And there are positive things that are happening in this country and speedway-wise. In particular, the influx of young riders that are coming through at the moment, and that's so important, so important. Do I think it was right for the Premiership teams to get their riders taken away to go over to the Speedway of Nations? Yeah, happens in every sport.
That's it.
We're no different. That's no different to any other sport. Speedway is no different to any other sport in that situation. I mean, a lot of Premiership teams in football get their and lower division teams as well. African Cup of Nations. They lose them for about 3 or 4 weeks for that. So, it's the way of the world, I'm afraid. Does anybody team ride now? They're all individuals.
There doesn't seem to be as much team riding now as
we've seen a few team ride. I mean, I was at Somerset for the first match this season at Somerset. And case in point, Chris Bomber Harris team rode. I think it was Henry Aitkins. To a 5-1. Apart from the fact that it happened against my team, it was quite nice. It was, so it does happen. It does seem to be. Not as prevalent. I don't know why that is.
I mean, obviously, I'm privileged because I saw one of the last real great team riders at my club in Samuel Malenko during his prime. So, because it just doesn't seem that you don't really see the top riders doing it now.
It's interesting because I'm going back now to 1970 something or other. Watching Hans Nielsen at Perry Bar, and one of the criticisms that was always levelled at him is that he'd come out and win his races, but he would never look for his teammate. And then he went to Oxford, and one of the things they say about Hans Nielsen when he was at Oxford was that he was the best team rider out there. So, I don't know. It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, they always say Eric Gunnarsson couldn't team ride either. So,
can I just say we seem to have a lot of new people in the chat room this evening. So welcome, Taverners.
Welcome.
All the merrier.
Those of you that are listening to us via the chat and all of that, you can watch us. It's not a pretty sight, but you can actually get us on
your
Facebook.
shirt is a pretty sight anyway.
Thank you very much.
Well, two of us are okay.
There's a reason for this shirt, but we won't go into that. Right. Have we got any more comments coming up?
Yeah, okay, there's a few.
We should talk about the changes at Birmingham.
We should do,
I think the jury's out on whether... Well, we don't know what the situation is as far as Ash is concerned, and it's just going on and on and on. So I think they possibly did need to replace him. And it's such a shame because Ash was doing so well, and I know he's desperate to get back on the bike. But interestingly, this might not be the last of the changes, it said in the press release. So sorry about that. So I don't know what's.
Did you who had 934 in the sweepstakes?
Always one, isn't there? Back to the SON. Why the hell is the final over 2 nights absolute rubbish? And Dunk answers it with only reason is because it was run over 2 days was the money.
Thoughts?
Yeah, it does seem a bit strange, to be fair.
Is it not?
I know they had the.
Is it not mirroring what happens in the ice finals and stuff? Those are all over.
May possibly
2 days.
Wasn't the world final was over 2 days in '87? I think was it, and it was never tried again.
No.
People really only go. I suppose a lot of people probably go for the second day because the first day there isn't the result, is there?
No.
That's the problem. So
perhaps they need to look at making it a point system, so that it's not the point score, but if you come first in the first match, you get so many points. If you get second, you get so many points. Then that carries over. So
possibly,
maybe that's another way of doing that.
Can I say the word arse?
Well, you just said it, so
Okay. Ewan Jock Turner. He says these guys are delusional. Speedway is on its arse in Britain. I don't know who the guys are that's delusional.
Probably us.
Yeah.
I'm not delusional at all. I just don't see the point in keep going on about it and becoming fulfilling prophecy. Just don't see the point.
No.
You know, that's it really. I would like to see test matches brought back. Would help bring the youngsters on. Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to see.
I'd like to see test matches. How do we do that?
I keep hearing them saying that, you know, they're talking about, you know, getting test matches abroad as well, which I think would be fabulous because it would be a great experience for a lot of the younger riders.
Absolutely.
I suppose the real problem is going to be fitting them in. I mean,
it would be great because it would also be a shop window for some of our riders in these countries. You know, we need our riders
absolutely.
out in Poland. And
like me, you'll remember some of the test matches that we had against the Americans back in the 80s and 90s.
I can remember some test matches against Czechoslovakia and Russia.
Yeah.
They were interesting. We had lots of repairs to the fences on those days. British Speedway needs to bring back the test match series to allow younger lads to come through on the international scene. We used to have test matches and there are enough dates available. That's true. And test series abroad for them to get them in the under-21 qualifiers as they move along the SEC, as Robert Lambert has done. I haven't got an argument, and he makes a good point that the dates are available. I mean, our season, if it doesn't become rain affected, looks to be finishing at the end of August.
Yes, possibly,
which is going
to leave a lot of...
unless, of course, we get into the playoffs, but that's not... Yeah, let's be honest about it, that's not looking greatly likely at the moment. Okay, so Lawrence Rogers has got an advert for tomorrow, and I'm going to say this all unapologetically. Tomorrow night, kids party night for the kids. Paw Patrol characters, face painting, games and prizes, goodie bags from 6:15. Under 11s go free.
Fantastic.
Promoting the place again.
Absolutely.
And can we also say
the
that
place
if any
again.
other club want to do the same, promote their upcoming meetings, go
And
ahead.
and if you
Please
want to
do,
put it on here, we will absolutely read that out. I think Wolverhampton had a bit of promotion.
Yeah,
on.
we did something. Obviously, they did a track walk, obviously, during the interval, which was well patronised. So, yeah, I mean, that's the one thing clubs need to get. You know, the
Okay, so here's an interesting comment. Let's pick this one apart a little bit. Don't matter who the GB manager is, we have no youth good enough apart from Bewley in my eyes coming through. Well, first part of that probably doesn't really matter who the GB manager is. What actually matters is what riders are there. And I think possibly it's time for Alan Rossiter to move to one side and let somebody else have a go. Be interesting to see what happens on that one. But no riders coming through apart from Dan Bewley. Would you agree with that? I think they're a way away.
Yes and no. Dan Bewley's probably the one that's further along in his development. But there are some, you know, I mean, we've seen that at Birmingham in the last couple of years of the National League, and even this season in the Championship. You know, there's some riders that are showing a lot of potential, but they need to be, you know, they need a couple more years before
we've
they're
lost
going to be.
A few what a couple of years ago people were saying, you know, Zach Vitanek, for instance. We're saying, oh, and it just shows you that you can't pick them from that early unless Dan Bewley's a bit special, of course. Robert Lambert's a bit special. So, you know, talent is better than form. But then you look at somebody like Jason Doyle. Mm-hmm. Nobody would have picked him as a world champion when he came to Birmingham for that season, and it was that season that he started really, you know, showing. You know, so he developed late. So you just don't know. Speedway is one of these sports where all of a sudden somebody just clicks.
John Louis did that, didn't he? I think he started.
John Louis didn't start until he was
27, 28.
Yeah, but I think he came from other motorcycle disciplines, didn't he? So he was already a good motorcyclist. So I just don't think it feels like that we've got a good crop of youngsters there to develop on. Some of them will fall by the wayside. That's just the nature of the sport, and some of them that we're not even talking about now will all of a sudden click.
If you've got 20 young riders, you know, common sense dictates that not all 20 of them are going to go on to be
the important thing is to keep churning them out.
Yeah,
You know, like
And fair play to
Dan
Neil,
Gilks,
and fair play to Neil Vatcher because he's doing a tremendous job with some of these.
So you take, so it's just keep going, keep going, keep going.
As we saw with the under-21 result, getting second in that one. So.
Daniel says, keep Alan as GB boss. He got us a silver medal last year.
Yeah, I think Ty Wuffingen getting a bucket load of points in that might have helped as well, to be fair.
I think so. And
Not
also,
having
and also the setup.
Yeah, I'm not having a go at Alan.
No,
so that's just a fact
nobody
of
here
affairs.
is, and
So-
absolutely. It's just
But
opinions, isn't it?
I just don't see Roscoe and Ty being able to work together. Bearing in mind
that's a
how
whole new
critical Ty was
subject of dog wagging, etc. Lawrence Rogers has told us that he's sourced some shale that Swindon and Somerset are using, and that they have ordered 20 tonne of it. Well, yippee!
Oh, no, yeah. Until you told you were going to be shifting.
Well, there is that side of it. That's great. Well, that's good news, isn't it? So let's hope that gets sorted out. We had this is Eric Parsons. We had a full-time staff set up at Coventry under the great Charles Ochiltree. Do tracks have full-time staff nowadays? No,
they don't.
No, they
It's
don't.
all volunteers, isn't it?
Yeah,
So-
it's all volunteers.
Yeah.
And Lawrence Rogers is telling me that the track is being heavily watered tonight. This is all music to my
Yeah, I
ears.
think it's the thunderstorms that we've got on the way, haven't we? So.
That's an interesting scoreline. Glasgow
Right.
21, Eastbourne 27 currently. I presume that's
Ooh.
currently. That's it. We'll have to get that up
Is that
actually.
right?
Yeah.
I didn't realise there was any meets tonight.
Well, I cannot believe the time. We need to start looking at.
We've got lots to get
Have
through, haven't
we got a pick out of the
I'll
thing?
do it
Yep.
in 2 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the league as well.
Yeah.
British Farm, we need to talk about that because that's on Monday. So
Oh, gosh, I forgot
We're
about
about
that.
30 comments behind as well, by the way.
Well, look, we really apologise for not being able to get through everything. We're trying so hard. We do try very, very hard. Thank you very, very much. It's what makes the show move along. I know we've been asked to get more guests, but would we have had time to have a guest? I don't know. That's great. So I just pulling the.
2 minutes. And
Okay.
I'll get it up.
We're just pulling the league for. So those that you don't know, we're doing a mini league each week. We're predicting.
yeah,
We choose a league. What league we're going to do this week, by the way?
we will do the championship this week.
Gonna do
But I'll
the
just say as well, just an apology to Paul PVL Racing. I did check your score and I did get it wrong last week. You got 2 points last week, not 1. So apologies for that. So
cheating
I haven't
again.
I haven't mended the table. So
Matt the Cheater Book. You've got a new name.
well, if I cheat, I'm still way down. So although I've had a better week this week.
Yeah,
so.
I've gone. Wow.
Where are
How the
you?
mighty have fallen. Yeah.
Looks like relegation
You-
zone.
you-
7th.
You can get you. Well, we was talking last week whether we can do playoffs, but we'll have to think about that one.
And Paul Griffiths is so far down, I can't even get him on the screen.
Per Paul Griffith.
We only did 1 last week, I think. So
Oh yes, so I'm. Oh, Ben Clifton's chasing me as well as Paul.
So anyway, I was explaining it. So yeah, so we're giving predictions which you can shove on the Facebook page or on the chat box or whatever as we go through it, and we'll add you. And whoever wins at the end of the year will get a.
What are we going to get? Leave.
Should we put those out even though they've got our names on the back?
I'm sure we can order one. We can order one.
Yeah,
Sure we can
why
order
not?
one.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
So this is what you're going to get. You're going to get one of these. With
Which
your
we've already
name
got.
on the back. Like that. There you go.
so we don't forget who we are. So
and we might. Shall we?
So just a
Shall
bit
we
of
see if we can add their team logo on as well?
Yeah.
That'd
Plus,
be-
plus
yeah.
a few t-shirts and stuff we'll throw in.
Yeah.
And whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, worthwhile taking part. And Webby's going to come and clean your house.
his face dropped there, didn't it?
It did, didn't it? Wow,
Yeah.
brilliant. So we got at the top is Webby. He's going to be cleaning his own house. His wife will be happy. Paul PVL Racing, Ben Clifton, Duncan Pemberton, Alan Atherton, Jeff Daniels, and we'll just go down as far as 7. Me.
Almost
Yeah.
playoff.
Yeah.
Well, mid-table mediocrity. So although I've had a better week this week, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your dad's coming up as well, isn't he?
my dad's only done 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So.
Oh, there you go.
22. Right, so shall we pull the thing out the tin first before we do the...
We're doing it next week, yeah.
Okay.
We're doing it every 2 weeks. Then we
Okay,
get quite
sorry.
a few then.
We did it last
give-
week, did we?
yeah,
Okay.
we did lots
So
of
if you share we should put your name in the tin.
Yeah.
We pull somebody's name out and they get a free T-shirt.
Yeah.
And incidentally, those of you that have had one free T-shirt, could you send us a photo wearing the T-shirt and we'll put you on our Rogues Gallery?
Yeah, there you go.
So that would be really cool.
Speaking of road galleries, if you go on our page, if you're not on our page, follow us and put your. I did start to post a few posts down, so put a picture of yourself because we're weird like that. We want to see what you look like.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a good idea. Why not? So are we ready to rock and roll?
Okay, so
with
the
this?
first one will be the one that we'll be saying tomorrow, of course, and that's Birmingham against Somerset.
This is a really difficult one too. So Webby's Webby's leading, so you can go
that one
first.
to start off with. Okay, I'm afraid I'm going to go Somerset by 6.
Somerset by 6. I'll have words with you later.
Thank you.
I'm going to go, because I can't do anything else, Birmingham by 2.
I'm going to go by 2, but I'm going to go by Somerset.
Okay.
I think they've got going to have a little bit too much at the top end. So just to everybody else, put your scores out there, and we will pick them up.
Yep. We will put them up.
See you in the pits, Paul. Paul PVR Racing said I'll be there tomorrow. As the guy that supplied us the mugs. So see you in
Mugs for the
pits.
mugs.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one.
Apparently Birmingham are going to win. Are going to draw 45-45 with the Rebels.
It's a new team. So.
Yeah. Could be right. Next one.
Next one is Edinburgh against Leicester.
Edinburgh against Leicester. Oh, that's going to be quite
Sorry, no.
taste.
Is it Edinburgh against Leicester? No, Edinburgh against Berwick.
Edinburgh against Berwick. Okay. It's my turn, isn't it? I'll go Berwick by 6. No, Edinburgh by 6, sorry.
Ooh, I'll go Edinburgh by 10, I think, on that one.
I'll go Edinburgh by 4. Please don't copy
Okay.
me.
Derek Turner says, hate to say Somerset by 4. Well, don't say it then.
He just has.
Alan's got Edinburgh at 47, Berwick 43, and Jack's gone Monarchs by 8.
We're all in an agreement with that one. That's not good.
There's quite a few, I think, championship fixtures coming up, so we'll...
Well, we're just waiting for you. That's,
Yeah.
come on.
Okay, so the next one is Glasgow against Leicester.
Glasgow
That'll
against...
be a good one.
Ah, wow.
Top of the table clash, won't it? Probably Glasgow...
Yeah,
well, Leicester have
but
got a bit off.
what's happening with Eastbourne at Glasgow at the moment, though? I mean, what's the score?
That's
Somebody
24-30 now to Eastbourne, so...
Okay, 24th, they say. Wow.
Mind
Don't-
you,
you don't think of
Redcar went there and nearly won a couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago,
you don't.
so-
Yeah. But I don't think Leicester have. It's up to you, isn't it? This one.
This one is, yeah.
Yeah.
Glasgow against Leicester. Ooh.
Don't think Leicester have been. I think they've been stuttering a little bit recently.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Glasgow on that one. I think I'm going to go Glasgow by 8.
That's quite a bold one.
Yep.
Okay then, I'll go Leicester by 4.
And I'm going to go Glasgow by 4.
There's a lot of imagination being shown in these, isn't there?
What is that? Another way of saying we're making it up as we go along?
Well, that's what we do anyway,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's true.
Okay, the next one is Redcar
There's a
against...
few people going for Glasgow in that one.
Yep, Redcar against Sheffield is the next one.
Redcar Sheffield.
Redcar, of course, in pretty good form at the
Haven't
moment.
they beaten Sheffield?
I think they have, haven't
Sheffield, I think
Yeah.
they have. Yeah. Yeah, your go.
I'm going to go Redcar by 8.
Okay.
I'm going to say Redcar by 10.
I'm going to go for a big one here. I'm going to go Redcar by 14. If you're wondering why I'm 11th, that's probably the reason.
That's it there.
Yep.
Derek Turner said Leicester by 2. Paul PVR says Glasgow by 6. Sean Simmer Simpson said Redcar by 6.
And Derek says Redcar by 10. And somebody called Brian Book has gone Redcar 52, Sheffield 38.
Did he say it exactly like that?
Yeah, like an announcer.
Next one.
Next one is Eastbourne against Somerset.
Eastbourne. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it?
Or something.
It's saying to me, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm going to say Somerset by 4 with no great conviction at all, given what.
Somerset by 4.
Oh, sorry, it's Eastbourne. No, sorry. No,
No, you
Yeah,
we
Eastbourne-
always take
Eastbourne
the
at
first
home,
answer.
sorry.
Can't do that.
no, I'm not going to say Somerset by 4. I'd be stupid.
I'm going to say something.
I'm going to say Eastbourne by 12. That would be written.
We wondering why you scored 2 points in the last 2 weeks. That's probably
Yeah.
why. So.
I'm wondering why I've scored any points.
Who's next then?
I'll go
You?
Eastbourne by 8.
Nice Webby, actually. Ooh, I'll go Eastbourne by 10 on that one.
Simon's gone Eastbourne by 12. Eagles by 12, says Dylan. Derek's gone Eastbourne by 8. And Duncan's gone Eagles 50, Rebels 40.
Nobody's saying that Eastbourne's got a great home track advantage, are they?
No.
And Dave Twine's gone Eastbourne by 12. There you go.
Okay.
And the next one.
Okay, we've got 3 more. We've got, next one, it's Leicester against Glasgow. Another different one to call.
Home advantage.
Who's it to
Must
go
be,
first?
It must be.
Is it
No,
me?
I think it's me, I think.
Is it? Okay. There's a few matches in the championship this week.
Yeah.
I'll go Leicester by 4 on that one, I think.
Ooh, I'll go Leicester by 10.
I'm tempted to do something different here.
Try and catch up with me.
I'm going to say a draw.
Do you want some pliers to pull the splinters out?
Yeah.
Okay. Scunthorpe against Glasgow. That's on the Sunday.
Scunthorpe against Glasgow. It's down to you then, Webbs.
I'll go Glasgow 4.
I'll say Glasgow by 6.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a full house there. I'm going to go Glasgow. I think they'll have too much for Scunthorpe. I'll go Glasgow by 10, I think.
Brian Buck said would be helpful if you didn't all
Wait,
three
wait,
talk
wait,
at
wait,
the
wait,
same
wait,
time.
wait,
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's because we get excited.
To be honest, in my opinion, it'd be helpful if I didn't talk at all. Full stop.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
Can't disagree with that.
no, but
Okay, we've got the penultimate one. The final one. Sheffield against Newcastle.
what does penultimate mean?
I just saw the word pop up on my screen. I just thought I'd use it. I don't know what it means.
Sheffield versus
Newcastle.
Newcastle. Is it down to me?
It is.
Yeah.
I'll go Sheffield by 12.
I'll go Sheffield by 8.
So Sheffield haven't been particularly convincing at home, have they? And Newcastle, for me, they've got a good top 5. It's just the reserves that let them down, I think. I mean, I was quite impressed with them at Perry Bar the other week. But I'll go Sheffield by...
It's a very different track, isn't it,
yeah.
Newcastle to Sheffield?
I'll go Sheffield by 10.
So after all that, you just agreed with us, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Sean's gone Sheffield by 10. Alan's gone Sheffield by 10. There's a few. Brian's gone Sheffield by 10 as well. Dylan Spuddy Hodgetts has gone Sheffield by 8. Simon Corbett's gone Sheffield by 6. And Chris has gone Sheffield by 6. By 8, sorry.
Okay.
Wow.
Nobody's managed to get a full house yet this week in this competition. Yet, have they? Got the closest we came was last week. My dad was 2 points out in 2 fixtures from getting a full house.
So I think we should start a new spot on the show in the last 5 minutes. And the new spot on the show is things we haven't talked about.
Yep.
We haven't spoke about the British final,
We should do, yep.
and which we should do, which is this weekend, is it?
That's
right.
Ashley Morris, if he's fit, he's going to be in it, of course, because Adam Ellis has pulled out, and I think
Yeah.
Richie Worrell's pulled out as well. So
and there'll probably be a few more that pull out because
yeah,
there very often is. Well, quickly, who do you think's going to win?
Robert Lambert.
Who do you think's going to win?
Robert Lambert.
Who do I think's going to win? Robert Lambert. There'd probably be more.
Yeah,
Just try.
I'll tell you this though: if that British final is as good as it was last year, we're in for a cracker. Because
Yes.
it's probably one of the best meetings of the season last season.
Yeah, it was a good
It was some
meeting.
tremendous racing. So
Like Sir Dan Bewley, of course.
yeah. Eric Parsons says Boris all the way.
Boris
so-
all the way.
Good God.
All the way to where? Let's not get into that.
Danny King, the man to beat, says Duncan.
Well, he does ride the
Well, he rode
does.
because he won it there in 2016. Was it?
Yeah, he does ride
So-
that place particularly well. I think
Yeah.
it depends on if it's a wet track.
Yeah.
I think you wouldn't bet against him, would you?
Yeah. Cookie's going to be in with a chance as well if he's fit. And obviously he knows that place like the back of his hand. So
Derek Turner's telling us Max Clegg riding well at reserve for the Diamonds, double figures the last.
he rode
few
well at Perry Bar the other
outings.
week,
He
didn't he? So
He
didn't have a very good first 2 rides, but he won his last 2 rides.
Yeah,
And,
he sorted the track out, which, to be honest, that's what happened to the majority of our riders. Alan Atherton reckons Bewley's going to win it. Simon Gorbett, outdated event, rider quality so poor, sorry for being so negative. We accept your apology, stop it. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah,
It doesn't add anything to anything, does it?
yeah, it is.
I understand what you're saying because, like me, you probably brought up on all those fantastic Coventry British finals that we've seen,
Yep.
back in the day when Andy Graham won it.
And then he took 3 hours to get out the car park.
Yeah,
afterwards,
yeah,
so-
and so I understand where you're coming from, but we are where we're at, and it's about we need to build from where we are. We
Yeah.
can't build from where we were. We can only build from where we are.
What type of English is that? We are where we at.
It's my English.
Brummy English,
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
Right.
Is
Well,
Lambert going to be fit? Well, yeah, that's an interesting
Hopefully he is.
question. Yeah, I mean, if he's not fit, then he probably won't win it.
It'd be wide open then, wouldn't it? So
Yeah.
Rory Sloan, I think, is in it as well, isn't he? Even though he's
Yeah, how does that work? I don't understand
well,
that. But
Barry Briggs and Arthur Major have both won the British final, and they're about as English as. So.
yeah,
Quickly say before we go, it is definitely record comments.
Okay.
Well done, thanks everyone.
Definitely.
thank you
Or at least
very
50
much.
com- Yeah, fantastic.
It makes
More people come on every week. Audience goes up, comments goes up. It's great.
Thanks,
share
everyone.
and share and share.
Cheers. Oh, guess on that note, I guess we.
That's a good note to end, isn't it?
Positive note, we better finish it there. I fully intend to see Webby knocked off that top spot next week. I think it's going.
I don't think it'll be you doing it, but
No, it won't be.
No.
Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
yeah.
Spoke like a BCFC. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your comments and for your input. See you all next week, and no more injuries.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a drink, have you say